All right, you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay. For all of you who do not know, do not forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share these videos, okay? So today's topic is women won't like this one, okay? And a subtitle, we're going to be reviewing or doing a review on the documentary called Choosing Death by the Daily Wire, okay? And my husband's actually going to explain what that documentary was about. But as you can tell, this particular video is about the overturning of Roe versus Wade and the abortion laws. And a lot of women are in an uproar right now. And, you know, my opinion is a little bit different. And we're going to discuss that. And I'm excited to get my point of view out there because it can open the eyes of so many people. Yeah, so we're gonna get started. And husband is really like, he chooses his battles when it comes to women, as in myself included. And he's like, I don't have an opinion on women's bodies and all that thing, all of those things, but he will explain this particular documentary. So if you wanna.
So over the weekend, we decided to watch a couple of documentaries that were recommended to us, and try to challenge ourselves into learning some more and educating ourselves some more on certain topics. So this documentary came up. It's called Choosing Death by the Daily Wire. Mm-hmm. And the documentary takes a doctor, people that worked for Planned Parenthood, people that support the overturning of Roe versus Wade, and they break down and tell you why they believe these things, and they don't come with nonsense. It's all fact driven. Mm-hmm. So they explain. So they had an abortion doctor on there who said that he performed, I think it was around 700 abortions until
in 1 year.
In 1 year, he said they would have 26 abortions lined up on a Saturday morning.
Yep.
And his last abortion was done when a baby who he thought was less far along in the pregnancy was actually much further along. And as he is sticking in this tube to kill the baby and to cut this baby up into pieces, the baby kicked him.
Mm-hmm. He said, and that was the absolute last abortion that he performed, and you can tell he was super scarred by it. He said that was the last one, and he had tears in his eyes, and he was just really devastated.
He said, people saw
right
what I saw, mm-hmm, and went through, it would change everyone's opinion on abortions.
Right.
So and then there was another lady who worked at a Planned Parenthood. And she talked about how they would pay bribes to mothers who they would mess up on, or how they would leave parts of babies inside mothers
and cause complications and things like that.
So this documentary goes on and explains, really breaks down what the opinions of Roe versus Wade being overturned, the positives of it.
Right. Okay, so we'll try to leave a link to that documentary because it's very informative. And a lot of times, we don't know what's going on and we stay ignorant because we don't educate ourselves.
Yes.
So I'll try to provide that link. I'll try to provide a few links for you.
Or at least the trailer.
Absolutely, the trailer. Okay. The first thing that I want to talk about concerning abortion is the sad truth. Or not even the sad truth. It's not sad. It's true, okay? The only women that are really tripping on abortion, mm-hmm, are those who are sexually irresponsible.
Yeah.
And I said what I said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sexually irresponsible women are offended, they are upset, and all those things. Women who are sexually responsible, they are already making the proper steps to make sure that they don't end up in a situation where they have to get an abortion. Yep. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it is the sexual sexual irresponsible people. So speaking of sexually irresponsible people, we're going to talk about Megan Thee Stallion real quick. I'll also leave this link in the description box, or it'll probably be the first comment that's pinned in the comment section. But she got on stage and she's wearing what?
A thong and a bra.
Dental floss.
And some boots. And a hat.
Dental floss for an outfit. And she's practically naked.
Yeah.
You can see everything.
Uh-huh.
And she's going on and she's calling men, names. And I would have added that clip, but it was so much cussing in it. I couldn't do that. And so, she ended up saying, moral of the story, my body, my MFing choice. Okay. And that is an end quote. And my thing is, it is your body, women. It is our bodies. And it is our choice. However, we shouldn't have to get to a point where the choice that we have to make is because of an outcome from a decision that we made. You have the choice to choose to not get pregnant before you get pregnant. You have the choice. The choice is yours. The choice is ours. And if we're responsible, we will never get to the point where we have to choose abortion. Okay, so here we have Megan Thee Stallion, who is a blatant hot girl. And she has hot boys. And they basically do that activities, correct? You would say...
I don't even know what a hot boy is.
I don't know either. I'm assuming it's...
Sounds gay to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that as well. But those are the type of guys that listen to her music.
Yeah.
And they're sexually promiscuous. However, they aren't getting anybody pregnant. But for the hot girls, who are out here listening to her sexually irresponsible music, promoting sexual activity and doing crazy stuff and twerking online and wearing absolutely nothing, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to stumble upon getting pregnant immediately, like sooner than later. And so here you are on stage and you're saying, oh, our body, our choice, all of these things. But again, you're promoting music that basically is pushing these young girls and these young women right into the abortion clinics.
Yep.
Yeah. So I want to start off with this very fact that abortion is the number one cause of death in the Black community. That alone, for all the pro-Black people, I'm not even gonna like this is what gets to me about the pro-Black people. They want to talk about how pro-Black they are and this and that, but what about this fact? That abortion is the number one cause of death in the Black community. More than 60 million babies were killed from abortion. 60 million. That's crazy. I'm pretty sure there were some doctors in there, some lawyers in there, some pediatricians in there, some electricians in there, some prophets in there, some, evangelists in there, some prayer warriors in there, and I'm guilty, to say the least. I actually experienced abortion, and that's why I feel like what I have to say concerning sexual irresponsibility is fact. Like when you have the option of, I could go get an abortion, you're going to be very irresponsible. Mm-hmm. You're not going to think twice. You're going to just do it, and then you're going to react, and then you're going to choose to go get an abortion. You know what I mean? You're not going to choose accountability. You're not going to choose, oh my God, I made this decision.
Yep.
I'm going to live with this. No, that's not how it goes these days. We don't hold ourselves accountable. So we go and we get abortions.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, where do I, number 3. Many of these babies, they talked about this in the documentary, are born alive. and they're killed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about that or no?
I don't want to. I can't.
Yeah.
You know why I can't? Because you're pregnant. And it's too real to me.
It is. And you know what? It's so real to the point where the whole time the documentary was on,
We had to keep restarting it because she couldn't watch it.
I couldn't watch it. But not only that, the baby was kicking and moving and you know, very active during that whole documentary. It was crazy.
It was a hard documentary to watch.
And it was hard for me to focus on what they were saying. I don't want to cry. On what they were saying because of what I felt on the inside. Black women are 3 times more likely to have abortions than any other race. That is unheard of.
That's crazy.
And I'm not surprised because remember we talked about this with the whole depopulation thing.
Right.
And we're going to talk about this.
Eugenics
Eugenics
is what it's called.
Oh, okay. And do you want to give the definition of eugenics for the people who don't know?
It's population control.
Right. And what is population control?
It's, well, I think we should get into...
Who is the target of it?
Oh, black families. It was set up in the neighborhoods. It was set up for specifically to target black families. And we'll get into that because I think
it's next.
That's next.
So speaking of, you know, black communities and breaking up the family dynamic and everything, we're going to talk about Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger was the creator of Planned Parenthood. And this woman, she was evil, to say the least.
Something else.
Oh my gosh, a piece of work.
If I wonder how many people, I wonder if people knew what Planned Parenthood was started under.
Oh yeah.
Would they actually walk through the door to begin with?
No. Especially all of my pro-black people out there who just love being so pro-black, yet, you know what? Yet, we push our kids through the doors of the Planned Parenthood because we don't want the responsibility.
Yep.
You know what I want to talk about real quick? While it's on my mind, the fact that women who go to church, right? The church mothers, the women that go to church every single Sunday, black women I'm talking about. You know how they go. You've been around enough of them.
Sure have.
My family, you've been around enough of the black church ladies.
Absolutely.
And these are I'm not going to say all of them, but these are the very women who will...
No, I know where you're going with this.
Who will go speak life and not death. And then, you know, their daughter turns up pregnant at a young age. The first thing that they say is what?
Yep.
You're going to get an abortion.
Yep.
It's not speak life then. You ain't quoting the Bible then.
Uh-uh.
They speak death.
It's real easy to speak life into somebody when it's not in your house, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They want to speak life about everybody else and everything else, but they'll speak death.
Yep.
They'll speak abortion. They'll speak, you're not bringing no kids in my house.
Yep. I raised my babies.
I raised my babies. Exactly.
Yep.
Who you been around?
Yeah.
Who you been listening to?
Because I've heard them all talking.
I know.
I've heard it.
I know. And that's the craziest part to me because you know like what they say and everybody can relate to this right now.
You know, and I've heard it, and then the group of women standing around go, yep, no, that's right. And it's like, oh, wait, what?
But these are the same people, speak life, and then boom, your daughter get pregnant, boom, now she gotta get an abortion, speak death.
Yeah.
Instead of allowing her to deal with those consequences.
Yeah.
The consequences of her actions.
Yeah.
She won't make the same mistake.
No.
Well, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know.
You got some hard-headed ones.
You have the hard-headed ones. But eventually she'll get it.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's move on to...
So, let me say this. I wonder if, you know, when they do all those marches and all those protests with those big banner signs, I wonder if those banners said what Planned Parenthood really was and what it was based on and why it. I wonder how many people would go.
Would send their kids there.
Definitely not going to that place.
Right.
Like, be honest about what Planned Parenthood is,
right?
Because they're the #1 baby killing factory in America.
100%. So, with talking about Planned Parenthood, let's talk about Margaret Sanger. Again, the lady that started Planned Parenthood. Okay, this woman, in this documentary, we found out that she...
I wish you would have printed out that letter and showed them.
What letter?
That letter that says how the black population is a weed that needs to be plucked.
Plucked out. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, and all of our pro-black people, they don't know that. So we just shoving all the black people into Planned Parenthood. Okay? This woman, Margaret Sanger, she studied the Nazis. Okay? And her main goal and objective...
She didn't study the Nazis. She studied with them.
Oh.
With them. She was a part of them.
Oh.
She was a part of the depopulation of the Jewish community. She learned from them. Didn't study them. Walked hand in hand with them.
So...
She was, if not a Nazi...
The closest thing
the closest thing you could be without.
The cousin.
Yep.
You know what? So her number one goal and objective was to exterminate black life. And again, this is why I tell black people it's very important for us to understand who we are biblically, and people don't want to hear, oh, black people, the whole Bible is written about you, but that's the truth. And if you understood that truth, you would understand why they put Planned Parenthood smack dab in the middle of every hood in America.
Yep, if not right in the middle, right close enough to get to on the bus.
On the bus, yeah.
There's literally a bus route that goes right to it.
And if black people, if we knew who we were, this would make perfect sense. Okay, so they've always wanted to keep the population of black people down, and it's time for us to start thinking, well, why would they want to do that?
So, and not only that, to keep the black population down, so the white population could thrive,
go up,
and there'd be more food and more, things available to white people. It's so much deeper than just the surface of it.
Right, and this is just we black people, we don't even have the surface. We don't even have the surface down pat. But again, I'm going to continue to get online, and I'm going to continue to run my mouth with facts. And I'm going to try to get this information out there to people so that we can understand what's really going on. So while we have, again, Megan Thee Stallion on stage talking about how our body, our rights, girl, this lady, Margaret Sanger, the creator of Planned Parenthood, her job was to keep black people down.
She would rather have Meg Thee Stallion dead.
She'd rather have you dead, Megan. She'd rather have you...
never existed. Your whole family, everyone you know, gone. She would rather have that than what you're sitting up there spouting on stage
with your support of the abortion.
What's crazy is if you look out into the crowd, when it pans to the crowd when she starts saying things,
it's all black.
What's the color of the crowd?
White. White people.
So think about that.
So listen, so this lady, Margaret Sanger, she went to the extent of paying pastors and black leaders to encourage people to kill their kids.
Yes, she did.
And again, this is what I'm talking about. Like, let me tell you something. Them church mothers, again, they didn't need no convincing.
Yep.
You ain't bringing no baby up in my house.
Yep.
Look, no.
And not just went to the black pastors and the black community leaders to get them on board, but to tell them lies that they would turn around and tell their congregation and the people in their community. The things they were telling were blatant lies.
Right. So not only do we have people trying to, annihilate black people, we have the fact that Planned Parenthood actually finessed a way for black people to actually pay to exterminate their own seed.
Yep. Because when you walk into Planned Parenthood, what are they? What services are? They're not trying to sell you a shirt.
No. So basically, how they broke it down on this documentary was that everything is free. They don't make money from the birth control. They don't make money from anything other than abortion.
Yes.
At Planned Parenthood. So what do? They try to convince young women, you can't take care of this baby by yourself.
Yep, you're not strong enough.
You're not strong enough. You don't have what it takes to get this done by yourself. You'll be a single mother, whatever.
You won't have your family support.
You won't have your family support. You'll have nothing. You'll be on welfare, blah, blah, blah. So then you convince this young girl, okay, boom, I'm going to get this abortion. Not only am I going to get this abortion and choose death, I'm going to pay into this company that this woman started who hated black people. And this is the way of America. And they thought that this was okay to have Planned Parenthoods all over the place. Like, America, the people up top, they knew exactly what Planned Parenthood was, what it was for, who it was targeted for. Absolutely. Minorities.
Yeah. And
so, never mind the fact that many sexually abused children, young teenage children, they go and get these abortions to cover up sexual perversion and rape.
That was the craziest thing. You know what? That was one of the number one things I took away from that when the lady goes, I talked to this
I never
police
thought about
officer.
That.
Yeah.
I never would have thought.
Never once.
Oh my gosh. There's a man out there raping young women.
Yep.
And
it's never being reported.
It's never being reported.
There's never been a phone call ever to the police from Planned Parenthood
about
saying
sexual abuse.
Yep.
And the fact that there is a predator. There are many predators out there that send their victims to go get abortions to erase the fact that he is a pervert and he needs to be in jail.
And not just
and
those.
That's the scariest
Not just
part.
Those people. Imagine all the pimps who send prostitutes into Planned Parenthood to get abortions.
Yeah.
And here this girl is being exploited for money, probably more than likely strung out on drugs.
Abused in the worst way.
Being there, and never once has there been a phone call to the police to report any of these things.
Right.
That's a scary thought.
Yes. And not one health professional reported it.
Nope.
As opposed to if you go to a hospital, those health professionals are held accountable immediately, and they have to notify the police or they're in danger. Or their license
will be
is in danger.
Yeah. Because you take the Hippocratic Oath, and that's a serious thing that doctors take.
Right.
Like, that's actually involved in their license. Mm-hmm. Like, if they find out, first of all, you're held in front of a board of doctors.
Right.
Who will say you did not call the proper authorities when this was reported.
Yep.
We're going to take this.
Yep. And you know what? It goes with not even sexually abused children. If it's a child that comes in with a broken leg and say that they don't report that to CPS or whatever, and that baby comes in and is brain dead now, for the second offense, they're going to look and see who took care of that child.
Responsible for that.
You're responsible for it, and you will go to jail and be fined and all that stuff. So,
and they have these videos on this documentary of they made up a story about a girl going in there to say, hey, my boy, I think she said she was 16.
Oh, yes.
15 or
15.
15. I'm 15.
My
and
boyfriend's
my boyfriend's
23.
31. It was 31.
Oh, was it?
My boyfriend's 31. And the doctors and nurses are going, okay, I don't care about that. What I care about is the pregnancy.
Yep.
So let's talk about that.
Yep.
Like, blatantly pushing it to the side.
Yep. The fact that statutory rape has just occurred to create this life, and you are too busy worried about the $600-700 you're gonna get. Or sometimes abortions, they range between like $100 and $750. That was on the documentary too. But it's just a lot. So those are the facts for right now, and
please, guys, listen, guys. This documentary is not that long.
It's not.
Yeah, I think it's either an hour or under an hour.
Right.
It might be 45 minutes.
Right.
Take the time out to go watch it.
Absolutely.
Educate yourself. If you're on the fence about abortion, I was on the fence about abortion before watching this. It totally changed my opinion of
100%.
Like,
but if I'm not mistaken, you've been pro-life.
Yeah. I just don't want to have to tell anyone anything.
Like when you were in the world, like when you were in the streets, let's keep it like that.
Yeah.
You were just like, okay, no, you're not gonna go get an
abortion. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you've always been pro-life.
Listen, I didn't ever, even the guys around me, that I looked at them differently after
if they did that. Yeah.
Like, I could not, for the life of me, respect them. Like, you mean to tell me that you were willing to go and do all this? And sometimes you would hunt this girl down for months to get into her pants.
Yep.
So you put all that effort and all that work into that, you get her pregnant, and then you just, and 9 times out of 10, once she leaves that clinic, you're done with her. You're washing your hands because now she's unclean. Now you look at her a little funny. You know, and I could never respect them after that.
Yeah. And a lot of guys, they I'm not even gonna say guys. I'm gonna say both men and women, boys and girls, you know, young people are very selfish.
Oh yeah.
It's the selfishness of it all.
Yep.
I made this decision, but this doesn't go with what I plan for my future.
Right.
So I'm going to abort mission.
Right. Yep.
So just keep all of these things in mind. I'm actually running out of space on my phone. So we're going to wrap this up. I love you guys. Talk to you guys soon. Do not forget, you can email me at speakhervoice2too@gmail.com. This video is not a video to bash women who have been raped or anything like
Incest.
that. I honestly, yes, incest. I honestly feel like abortion should be available for those women who have been raped or abused sexually. I feel like abortion should be available to them.
Also incest.
And incest, yeah, absolutely. And if you're sexually irresponsible, fix it.
Right.
This is your time. This your time now. You ain't got no other choice but to get it together and make sure that you're making better decisions moving forward. So I love you guys. Again, talk to you guys soon. Do not forget, you can email me. I said that already. All right, talk to you guys soon. God bless.